once again, this is an entirely unscripted video. This is just a recap of the day I've had, basically. And the way that it can maybe help you figure out some stuff in your own life, even. So, first of all, the day started off pretty terribly. I woke up utterly exhausted. Mind you, I went to bed earlier than usual. Like, not too much earlier than usual, but usually, even when I do go to bed earlier, I feel well rested. I did not. I felt incredibly tired. I felt like I just wanted to sleep again. And I did end up resting my eyes in my bed for another 20 minutes until I realized that I had school and needed to get up. So, the day's already starting off not good. I get up, I get my clothes, put them on my bed as if I'm gonna change into them, and I sit there for another 5 minutes because I am freezing cold, and the only solace I'm getting is my warm blanket. Great, really awesome. So I finally get dressed, get my breakfast, which is just a mocha, mostly hot chocolate by the way, and then I sit down and I start watching a video until my dad calls me, says we gotta go. So I go to school. I don't want to be at school. I don't really like school that much, but I go there anyway. And it's starting okay. Things are starting to get a little better. I show my teacher, my English teacher, she's really nice. I show her this comic that I'm working on that's like an actual project I want to do, and she really likes it. So great, I start doing more of that until the day starts. As soon as the work part of the day starts, things start to go downhill. Because I can barely lift up my pencil since I am exhausted for whatever reason. And so I'm just sitting there listening to what she's saying and thinking, okay, you should probably get up and work now. Get up and work now. Please get up and work now. But of course, this doesn't happen. I continue to lay my head on my desk, holding my pencil in my hand, trying not to fall asleep. I write down maybe 2 sentences, and then that's it. Now, luckily for me, my teacher, my English teacher, she's really, really nice, really understanding. I generally work in her class, and I work well and effectively. And there are still days where I don't do that because I am just so mentally and physically drained that I can't. And she understands this, so I'm not too worried. But I still feel bad. So great. The class is over. I put all my stuff away, start going to my next class. Math. If you know me, you know I hate math. I think that most of the things that I am learning in it are not going to be useful for my future career. I think most of the things that I have been learning throughout, like grade 6, which is middle school and older, have been pretty much useless in general. Of course, I think basic math is important. The basic 4 of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, very important. But anything higher than that is like typically going to be used in a job where you need to do math. And even for a lot of that, it's not going to be you having to remember all of these formulas and equations. You could have a calculator for all of that, and you could look up information. Because if we didn't have that, first of all, our jobs would be incredibly inconvenient and also inefficient. But also, it would be so much harder to get data, and also to get accurate data in general, because even the most skilled mathematicians make errors in their work. So anyway, enough ranting about math. That can be a whole different thing. I go to math class. We have a test today. First of all, I hate math tests. I hate tests in general because they make me feel like I'm stupid. And I really hate feeling like that. but whatever. It's a topic that I think that I know about. I think, okay, this is easy. The start of the unit was pretty easy. Stuff got more complex throughout it. By the way, this is radicals. I don't know if they're numbered depending on the education system or based off of like a worldwide, maybe not worldwide, stuff in like Canada and America. I'm not going to say it anyway though, because it could be straight up my school division and I don't want to dox myself. So anyway, radicals. Starts off easy, some bullshit starts happening throughout it. Whatever. The test. First 4 questions. Perfectly fine and easy. I can use factor trees to solve them. It's great. Then it's from a mixed radical to an not mixed radical. Maybe just a regular radical. I don't remember. Basically, the first question, but backwards. Okay? I forgot this was a thing entirely. So, already my confidence is starting to slip. Not a great thing. Very bad, in fact. But whatever. Okay, I'll just go back to this. It'll probably come back to me. No. Of course not. So anyway, I go on to the next question, and as I'm going through these questions, my confidence is going down further and further. Mind you, I'm already very tired, not feeling well because I didn't eat any breakfast, any real breakfast, that is. I had 2 Baby Bells. I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm very sorry. I'll pull out the ukulele now. And also, in English, I wasn't able to do much because super tired. So already I'm like, not feeling good about this. Go through everything. We've still got like 20 minutes left of class. I honestly prefer when I finish doing all the questions I possibly can right as the bell's about to go, because those 20 minutes of sitting there knowing that there are unanswered questions that I don't know how to answer, but still having my teacher, by the way, I'll discuss that after. Still having my teacher, like, walking around, make sure we're all okay, not dying, knowing that he's gonna come over and take a look and be like, are you good? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Really dreadful, because if it's the end of class, I can just flip over my paper, put it in the hand-in shelf, and get the hell out of there. But no, I have to sit there for 20 minutes, looking at my doodles of the DDLC characters as I am crying internally, and just existing in pure suffering, until the bell goes. My teacher, okay? He is a student at the local university, because and I don't know if this is in other places, it probably is. Our university has a program where the students learning to be teachers can go teach at the actual schools, being like a student of the teachers there. So he is one of those people. Frankly, I enjoy his teaching way more than the teacher I would have gotten if he wasn't there, which maybe not a good sign for both me and the teacher, because, like, yikes. That's just because, and maybe this is just the vibe I've gotten from the couple of classes where he hasn't been there to teach us. She is one of those teachers who's very strict to the point where I feel like it's somewhat unnecessary. For example, she's definitely the kind of teacher who, if you get to class, like, a couple of seconds after the bell, You're gonna have to wait for 10 minutes for her to let you into the classroom, because as soon as the bell rings, she closes the door, and then she does the stupid thing where you knock at the door and then she just ignores it for a while. Mind you, she has done this. She's taught us, I think, twice, or at least supervised us twice. And both times that this has happened, student comes, knocks at the door. Probably waiting there for a while. 10 minutes, I'm not even exaggerating, 10 minutes go by. She goes to answer the door. Of course the student's not going to be there. Did you think that they were just going to wait that whole time to get into math class? Are you crazy? The only people who would do that are people who really care about their attendance, and even then, they are going to get marked late, or maybe even just absent, because you didn't let them in for 10 whole minutes. Anyway, that's just my own personal gripes. I like the university student a lot more, because, first of all, he's just kind of cool. Second of all, he teaches a lot better in my opinion, and is more helpful and friendly feeling. When you feel like you can go to your teachers to like talk to them at all, that is a good sign as a teacher. Moving on though with the day. Math class ends, I hand in my work, not feeling good about it. But I'm going to my next class, which is photography. Photography I have mixed feelings about, because when you think photography, you think taking pictures of whatever. Maybe you have themed assignments. Not learning about the camera and stuff like that. Like, you don't like doing tests on parts of the camera. Luckily, photography teachers also pretty chill. All of the tests have been open book, so it's not too bad. I'm not complaining because I think the tests are unreasonable. Just not what I was thinking when I was thinking photography. The good thing about his class is that you can knock out like all of your assignments super early, and then the rest of the time you just do whatever. Like right now, the assignments I have are quite in the future, and not because I'm procrastinating, but just because I'm feeling super tired from everything in my life right now. When I'm in his class, I'll work for a little bit, and then maybe I'll go to something else. Like right now I'm working on a project in Milanote, whatever. And that's what I'm using my time in photography for. Whatever. So I'm in his class, just doing whatever in Milanote. And it's fine, but I'm allowing myself to ruminate on the feelings that I've had before, where it's like, I'm a complete failure, I can't even do math, whatever. Lunchtime comes. Awesome. Lunchtime is the only time I get to see my actual friends. So I'm going there, showing all the stuff that I've been working on. We're talking, we're watching a video, one of those, like, the Fredbear Hello Neighbor mod videos, which I kind of want to play that, but I don't think that I can mod my PS5 to have that, so really unfortunate. Great. I'm still thinking about the way I was feeling before, and just not feeling great, but it's great to have a distraction for a little bit, right? So I start going home. This is after lunch, right? Still not feeling great. Feeling sick, even. Not in the good way. Going home. Walking half an hour in the sudden winter that there is now. Like, it went from, you could go outside in a t-shirt and shorts reasonably, to, you have to wear a jacket or you will get frostbite. On my way home, to distract myself, which I usually do, I'm like singing to myself. I'm pretending I'm making a video on things for Dandy's World, which I've done for the past 2 days now. Really awesome. So half an hour later, I get home. Immediately, the exhaustion hits like a truck. I get to see my dog. I'm like petting her and whatnot. Usual routine. Thinking, maybe I should go buy some food. Both luckily and unluckily for me, I put on my shoes and immediately a second wave of exhaustion has hit the tower, has hit the lunar. I'm just like, the thought of leaving my house is so dreadful that I immediately take off my shoes and put away my debit card. This is both fortunate because I told myself I was going to stop spending so much money on food when I could just eat food at home, and unfortunate because I feel terrible. So that's all done with. I go downstairs, sit on the chair downstairs with my bowl of cereal because I didn't have the energy to make anything else. Start watching videos and whatnot. But I'm still not feeling well. Still feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, and I'm watching videos, so it's kind of helping a bit. I like to do this thing where when I'm not feeling well, I watch videos that are less mindless I don't want to say mindless. Some of them are like, okay, that's actually funny. But videos that are informative rather than just entertainment. Like, I watched one about the meat industry. I watched one about how sugar affects you, which that one was like, I thought this was going to be a 30-day sugar-free challenge. It was cinematic as hell. I might even try to add... No, I wasn't going to edit this video. If I find the video again, I will post it in the pinned comment in the comments description. Stupid. Anyway, I'm watching these videos, and slowly but surely it's making me feel better, which is great. This was the goal. And eventually it gets to a point where I'm feeling such a mix of emotions of positive because I'm not wasting all of my time playing video games and watching YouTube at the same time, and completely destroying my brain, and also feeling overly negative because I'm thinking about all the bad things in the world and in my life and the way I'm feeling. So I take a step back and I do this thing, which I'm surprised that I have stuck with for such a long time. I saw another video a while ago when I was feeling a similar way to this, where it was, you take a little mini journal or a notebook, and that is what you use as like a journal or writing whatever. It doesn't have to be specifically a diary. You don't set like, I have to write this every day. You just start to replace stuff like the notes app on your phone with it. And it has revolutionized my life in a way, because something that was pointed out that I still am conscious of even now is this guy in the video was talking about how when he opens his phone, every thought that he had for his intention of using his phone disappears. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of over-exaggerating. You probably get distracted by something. Genuinely, and I mean this so honestly, I have realized that this happens to me all the time. This literally has happened today, and it is bad. Where I will think, oh yeah, I should write this down, or I should contact this person. I turn on my phone, put in my password, the thought is gone. Instantly gone. And I can't help but thank this person. I forgot the person and the video. I am very sorry. It was a great video. I cannot help but thank this guy, because if I didn't see this video, I would not be able to express my thoughts in the way that I have. Now, important thing for doing this method. Number 1, do not try to make yourself write all the time. If you are using this as more of a journal than a notes thing, do not try to write all the time, because then you will think about it too much. You will start to plan so much of your day around okay, I gotta write about this. you will try to force yourself into writing stuff, or the alternative is that you will stop writing at all. And this happens with a lot of the things that I do, where as soon as I start saying, okay, I'm going to do this for this amount of time, my plans all fall through. This is a tool, not a challenge. Number 2, do not try to make yourself write super professionally. And along with that, do not try to make yourself always write something super emotional. Even if it is a journal for your thoughts and feelings, it doesn't always have to be, today I felt depressed. Today, insert some poetic stuff. I literally have an entry into this journal that is me rambling about how the way I hold my pencil is hurting my wrist, and the proper way is both more comfortable and looks terrible in my handwriting. It's pretty bad. I must say, I cannot read it very well. So, like, they don't always have to be, like, your thoughts and feelings. They can just be random things you notice, little notes. It's a notebook. It's not supposed to be a thoughts and feelings forever and ever book. So do that. I recommend it. Also, don't worry too much about spelling and grammar. This is supposed to be getting your raw thoughts and feelings and whatever is happening out onto a page, not an essay. I have found that being able to just write however makes me write more, and it's great. So I go and I write down the way I'm feeling, and when I feel like I'm at a point where I don't have anything more to write, I end it. Okay, wow. Maybe we... Jesus Christ. That sounded way worse when I said it out loud than I think most people will pick up on. Okay, I meant I end the entry into this notebook, put it away, and my first thought is, I should go talk to one of my friends about this. About both the way I'm feeling and just some, like, general questions for him about his life. So I go and do that. First of all, I opened my phone and I didn't immediately forget what I was going to say, which is awesome. The next part of this whole story is I sent, I think, 16 minutes worth of me talking in voice notes about the way I was feeling, and also the aforementioned questions about him. And throughout all of it, it was very rambly, unorganized. A lot of my voice notes tend to be that way, which, not great, but most of my friends have not complained. I shouldn't say most of. None of my friends have complained. But if you are my friend, please complain if you must. Anyway, I send all these. I'm sitting in my chair again. I'm like, shoot, maybe I should delete all of that, because a lot of it, like I said, was very unorganized. I didn't really think, and the things that I was saying, I kept saying over and over again. Like, I don't want to go too deep into what I was saying, but basically I would say something like, I need a good example that's not going to make me seem like, I don't want to actually talk about what I was talking about to this guy. Okay, I know. This is an example, this is not what I was talking about, but, you know, I get really, really annoyed when people keep asking to borrow my pencils. Like, I understand, I want to help people by allowing them a utensil to write with, but also, I need my own pencils, and I need to feel secure with them being in my pencil case. Not that you shouldn't borrow them. In fact, ask to borrow them if you must. But, you know, they're like my pencils, and I just don't want them to get into the wrong hands. By the way, you are not the wrong hands, and it just keep going on like that. And I feel like this was exactly proving the point of what I was talking about and what I was feeling. So, that's great. But after I sent all of that, I kept thinking, I should delete all of that. He does not need to listen to all my problems. He does not need to help me. He's probably going to listen to this and feel really guilty for even being my friend, and I'm a terrible friend, and then he messages me back with his own voice note. First of all, I should have known he would respond, actually positive because he is my friend. It was just really nice. It was a connection I don't normally have with people, which I feel like everyone should have more. Being able to just express your raw thoughts and feelings to other people. Obviously, and this was something that was maybe discussed in the voice notes that I was sending, always going to the same person every time you have a problem and always talking to them about every single issue in your life can be exhausting for both of you. Not to say, if you only have like a couple of friends or one friend who you know is good with this stuff, to not go to them like ever or even a lot, but you have to consider the way that everyone is feeling at a certain time. Like, think about it from your hypothetical's perspective of you're someone who everybody goes to with all of their problems. So you're listening to them, you're trying to help them as best as you can. Eventually, you will also have your own problems that you will get tired of having. And the added negativity of literally everyone else coming to you all the time, every time something bad happens to them, will start to worsen your own negative thoughts. Because not only will you be thinking, okay, well, I need to help them before I help myself, but you will also be thinking, my problems clearly are not as bad as theirs. Little piece of advice, which has been very difficult for me to follow in my life. Your problems are equally as bad as other people's problems, even if said problems may be easier to solve, because they are something that is affecting you. Not everyone is going to respond to certain things in the same way. Not everyone is going to have the same problems. But if those are problems that are giving you a negative view of life, and they are affecting you in a negative way, then those problems are still valid problems. Something that I personally struggle with at times is thinking that because I do not have terrible life-threatening issues all the time, that my problems are not as bad or even worth addressing as other people's. And that way of thinking is not fun, because then I'm constantly thinking about how I need to stop feeling bad for myself and start thinking about only other people. This is not to say that you should always think that your problems are the worst ever. In a literal sense, someone's like house burning down and you failing a test are two completely different levels of issue and problem. But while one of those is going to affect someone negatively in a way that they cannot really deal with super well, the other may still be the same. Maybe I used a bad example. I feel like that's like a very extreme thing and a not very extreme thing. But at the same time, let's say these two people in these scenarios have very different ways of thinking and very different ways that they have handled their problems in the past. The person whose house, maybe we'll change that one. Their car broke down, okay? They have no real method of getting to work with private transportation now. However, they have had this happen to them before, so they know bus routes. They have friends who can pick them up. They don't have to go to work super early. They could probably walk to work even. They have methods of dealing with these problems. The person who failed their test has extreme anxiety over their education and their grades. So this failure feels absolutely devastating. They think they can never recover from this. They feel so hopeless and empty about everything that has happened. Because now what are they going to do? There's no recovering from this. Well, both of these are different levels of bad thing that has happened. One person knows how to deal with it and thus is less affected by it, while the other feels like they're going to die. The fact is, both of these things are negative, and they will affect each person differently, even though they are on different levels of extreme. So yes, even if your struggles in life are, I feel kind of lonely sometimes, and I have stress over my grades, and I just don't really know what to do, your problems still matter, even if your friend is going to you like, oh, my car just doesn't work anymore, and it probably won't work ever again. Just make sure to prioritize yourself first in most situations. Because if you can't help yourself, how are you going to help other people? This is basically what he told me in these voice messages. Not exactly. Like, I added a bunch of stuff in there. But that last message is exactly what he told me. Maybe not exactly. That is what he told me. And I really appreciate him for that. I think that is a very good thing to think about, to say in your mind. And I think that if you're listening to this right now, that you should do that. You should prioritize yourself above other people all the time. Let me preface, because I can't use grammar here to express exactly what I just said. You need to prioritize yourself most of the time. Now, I'm not saying to be an asshole. I'm not saying you need to only think about yourself and only do things for your own self-gain and self-interest. But I am saying that if you are feeling terrible, if you are feeling like nothing you do is good enough or matters, or you just can't get out of bed, that you need to be able to take some time for yourself, express your issues with other people, be able to work through this before you start unloading another whole person's problems. So great. I talked to this guy. Now I'm feeling way better. And this was a whole emotional roller coaster of a day. Because now I'm feeling pretty great. I did like everything I need to do to be productive in my eyes, with editing the video and the thumbnail that I just posted, as well as recording this, of course, writing more in my journal, just feeling better as a whole. Now I feel pretty great. Now I can actually exist as a person, and it's really nice. So I think the main takeaway from this audiobook rambling session is that if you're not feeling well in a day to start off, or with how most of the day has gone, do not completely give up on the day. Either take a break if you feel like that's what you need, or reach out to your friends if you feel like that's what you need. If I didn't talk to my friend, and I didn't write anything in my journal, I probably would have still felt hopeless and unwell. But now I don't. Now I feel like I can actually exist, and my motivation is back. So, take my experience as an example. You can do this. You can change the way that your day goes. And it's not wrong to allow yourself to feel negative emotions like anger and sadness and fear. But allowing those emotions to consume you is only going to make them worse for you. So reach out to people. And thank you for listening. And if you like the background videos, that's my art. I don't record my drawing live, so this is the Ibis Paint recap video, but I hope it's just as satisfying as a regular speed paint. So, thank you. Have a good day, or night, or evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. And Thanksgiving for you Americans. Have a good life.